Contracts with Ontario's 5 major education unions expire today with the start of the new school year just around the corner. And we're joined live right now by Education Minister Stephan Lecce. Thanks as always for joining us, Minister. Obviously, school is just about a week away. Obviously, parents are a little bit concerned. How likely and how confident are you that deals will be reached with all of these unions?
Well, the commitment of the government is to keep children in school in this province. We know that this is critical for families and frankly for these kids, for their mental and physical health. So I want families to know out there, irrespective of the challenges that happen far too often in this province over the past 30 years, we're going to stand up to ensure your kids stay in school with the full learning experience, the clubs and sports, the extracurriculars, the elements that matter to the life and development of a young leader. Obviously, I'm cautiously optimistic that we can get deals. We've done it before. Fair for the taxpayer, good for the students, and fair, of course, for the worker too. But of course, when I hear numbers like $21 billion of demands, 52% increases, Jamie, I think most people watching would agree that's just unacceptable and frankly, out of the realm of possibility for the overwhelming majority of workers out there listening.
And specifically, you've got CUPE calling for 11.7% raise for all education workers. We know that the Ford government has also offered those who are making less than $40,000 a 2% raise on a 4-year deal. What's been the reaction to these proposals?
Well, I mean, look, we've offered over 8.24% over the course of a 4-year deal. First off, another thing to mention is a 4-year deal. It's largely 3-year programs. We've extended it or proposed a 4-year program to provide some stability for these kids so that there could be some learning recovery. We could actually let these kids get back to the purpose of going to school in the first place, which is learning skill sets that are going to help them in the job market. Life and job skills are something your kids are going to see a much heavier emphasis on in September, from financial literacy to coding to leadership and debate skills. These things matter, the soft and hard skills. The unions will continue to demand more. They have suggested that they want a 52% increase. You said 11%. That's per year, plus many other requests and demands on the government that when you aggregate it, it comes to about a $21 billion demand. It's the equivalent of the entire education budgets of BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba combined. And then there's still more to spend. So we just want to be realistic. I want kids in school. These children have been through extraordinary difficulty, and the most important thing we can do for all of us is to provide a more normal, a more stable, and frankly, a much more enjoyable school year that includes the things that make kids want to go to school. And that's why I emphasize the extracurriculars and clubs, because I think they matter to parents, they matter to kids, and frankly, they matter to our government.
Hey, we've spoken with the president of the OSSTF. We've spoken with the president of ETFO. Both of them are saying that they want a deal without any job action. Members want to provide students with stability. And I'm sure that's also something that parents echo. But, you know, when you look at how the relationship between the unions and the government has played out over the last couple of years, let's be honest, it's been a little bit frosty at times. But at the end of the day, parents just want some reassurance, and they don't want to have to go back to these negotiations kind of every 2-3 years or so. Why is it so difficult to get these contracts, the term of these contracts, longer so that we're not kind of going in this circle?
Yeah, I mean, parents have to deal with this every 3 years over the past 30 years, regardless of the party and the premier. Unions continue to escalate against governments of the day, and it's frankly tiring on parents, and it's hurting kids. And so what our hope is that the unions will focus themselves on keeping kids in school. You had the union presence today that did not rule out striking or withdrawing services, quote, if they don't get what they want. That's not a reasonable position. I think what we want is for all the parties to accept the premise kids have to stay in school, and I want families to know we will stand up to ensure your kids remain in school right to June.
Education Minister Stephan Lecce, we appreciate your time as always. Thank you.
Thank you.